Okay, so for the article that I chose, the title of it was called, and I'll give a link in my description here, but the article was called COVID Induced Business Concepts Urged for 2021. I found this in the Business of Journal Spokane edition for, I believe it was March of 2021. So I chose that article and looked at it through an interpretive view, which was, created or made popular by Charles Redding. In the interpretive view, there are 5 essential elements that encourage employees to have a good feeling about their organization. So, in those 5 elements are supportiveness, credibility, openness, participatory decision making, and an emphasis on high performance. The book says when employees are motivated by positive rather than negative means, then when they believe management solves problems fairly and values its workers, and when they feel able to do their jobs and able to communicate with managers, and when they feel informed, then a productive organization climate is more likely to result. And of course, that's usually the goal for organizations. So, looking at the questions that go along with those five essential elements. The book gave 6 questions, and I'm going to give the question, but then address what the article kind of its perspective on that. So this article was about how kind of organizations need to shift and change as the work environment is shifting and changing. And so these are kind of what I drew out of that, which applied to these elements. So for our questions that go along with the interpretive approach, number 1 question is, what methods are used by managers to motivate employees? In this article, mainly kind of all the following will be helpful in motivating employees when they have a confidence in the organization, in their care for them, in their ability to weather the storm. Then that's really going to help with confidence. Another question then would be, do employees feel that management uses effective methods rather than just chance for solving problems? And this article encourages organizations and businesses to build a plan to face challenges and grow. So that's kind of how that would be handled by looking at what we've been through and what kind of where we're at right now, and trying to look down the road and see how they can prepare for things like this in the future. Do employees believe management sees them as important? In this article, there was an emphasis on protecting the well-being of employees, and I believe that would fit with that question. So when the well-being of employees, is being looked after and thought about and cared about, then the employees are going to feel like they're valued by the management. Number 4 question, are employees given the resources to perform their jobs effectively? This was just briefly mentioned or this touched on in this article. There was a discussion about cybersecurity and how that applies when employees are working at home. So encouragement for organizations to think that through and make sure that there is safety, when employees are accessing company information from their home networks. Then, can employees initiate upward communication is part of the interpretive questions. And this article discussed creating a culture of flexibility and open communication. So that would answer that. Really open to hearing from employees, getting their feedback, and showing, real concern for what they have to say. Then, last of all, is the quality within the organization generally good? And one of the encouragements of this article to future and current organizations is that they would strengthen their environmental, social, and governance commitments. And I think that would fit in with, the quality of the organization. So those were what I took out of from the chapter and looking at the article through that lens. And I hope that's helpful. Thanks.